We all know that Naruto draws a ton of inspiration from Japanese mythology and culture. Masashi Kishimoto has always loved weaving elements from these myths into his story, whether it's the legendary Sannin, Indra and Ashura, or techniques like Izanagi and Izanami. But here's where things get interesting. In Boruto, my deep dive into research has convinced me that the creators are now pulling inspiration from myths beyond Japan. For example, I've discovered that Shibai Otsutsuki seems to be inspired by the Hindu god Shiva. Both are described as creators and transformers of the universe. They both have a third eye, symbolizing higher perception and spiritual insight. And even their clothing, both depicted in tattered attire, shares similarities. But honestly, that's a topic for another video. What I really want to focus on today is the dynamic between Boruto and Kawaki, which, believe it or not, seems heavily inspired by Egyptian mythology. And if I'm right about this, it could give us major hints about how Boruto will end, or even why Boruto and Kawaki were destined for that final battle we saw in the first chapter. So stick with me until the end of the video, and I promise this will all start making a lot of sense. While you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on content like this. Now, let's dive in. Like I mentioned earlier, the dynamic between Boruto and Kawaki seems to be heavily inspired by Egyptian mythology, specifically the legendary conflict between the gods Seth and Horus. Seth, the god of chaos and destruction, and Horus, the god of the sky, had an epic battle that played a major role in Egyptian mythology. And as I break down this myth, I'll also explain how it directly connects to Boruto's storyline. So here's how it all began. Osiris, the king of Egypt, had a son, Horus, who was the rightful heir to the throne. But Osiris also had a younger brother, Seth, who craved power. One day, Seth killed Osiris to seize the throne for himself. In response, Horus engaged in a fierce battle with Seth to avenge his father and reclaim his rightful place. During this intense fight, Seth slashed Horus's eye, forcing Horus into hiding for years while Seth ruled over Egypt. Now, you might be wondering, how does this connect to Boruto's story? Well, stick around, because the parallels might just blow your mind. Now, here's where things get really interesting. In this scenario, Horus represents Boruto, while Seth represents Kawaki, and funnily enough, Kawaki even shares a similar title to Seth's, the Apostle of Destruction. Boruto, being the son of the Hokage, naturally parallels Horus, the rightful heir to the throne. Meanwhile, Naruto represents Osiris, but with one key difference. Kawaki wasn't Naruto's biological brother like Seth was to Osiris. Instead, he was adopted into the Uzumaki family. Now, unlike Seth, who killed Osiris out of greed, Kawaki didn't seal Naruto away for power. He did it to protect him from an even greater threat, the Otsutsuki, specifically Boruto, because he feared that Momoshiki might take control of Boruto's body and kill Naruto. To eliminate this danger, Kawaki made it his mission to get rid of Boruto. And during their confrontation, just like Seth slashed Horus's eye, Kawaki slashed Boruto's eye, leaving him with that now iconic scar. Then came the Omnipotence event, which flipped their entire reality. Boruto became a fugitive, and Kawaki took his place as the son of the Hokage. This mirrors how Seth stole the throne from Horus, much like how Kawaki desperately wanted to be in Boruto's place all along. But the story doesn't end there. While Horus was in hiding for years, he wasn't alone. He had the guidance of Thoth, the god of wisdom, who helped him regain his missing eye, now known as the Eye of Horus. With his new power, Horus returned to Egypt for one final battle against Seth. This time, he defeated Seth and used his newfound strength to revive his father Osiris. Now, let's connect this to Boruto's journey. Even after everything Boruto went through, he still had allies who helped him become as strong as he is now. And one of those key allies is Kashin Koji, who seems to represent Thoth. The similarities between them are hard to ignore. Aside from both being known for their wisdom, Thoth is often depicted with the head of a bird, which strongly resembles Kashin Koji's bird-like mask. If this parallel holds true, then Kashin Koji could be the one who helps Boruto unlock the Jougan, the very eye we saw him use in the first episode. And this makes perfect sense because Boruto's Jougan seems to be directly inspired by the Eye of Horus. Just look at the design. Boruto's Jougan and karma patterns strongly resemble the Eye of Horus. It's almost as if history is repeating itself, but in a shinobi world. Not only that, but Boruto's Jougan is also referred to as the Pure Eye. However, its origins seem to be inspired by the Evil Eye Talisman, which is known to symbolize good health and protection against evil forces. This directly aligns with what Toneri once said, that the Jougan is the star of hope against the incoming destruction. Interestingly, the Eye of Horus is actually a variation of the Evil Eye in Egyptian culture. And if we look at the Greek version of the Evil Eye, it has the exact same color as the Jougan, further reinforcing the idea that this eye is deeply significant to Boruto's fate. This pretty much confirms that the Jougan is canon and will play a crucial role by the end of the story, possibly even in freeing Naruto from Kawaki's dimension. Just like Horus used his new eye to revive his father Osiris, Boruto may use the Jougan to rescue Naruto. Now, when it comes to the final battle between Boruto and Kawaki, I firmly believe that Kawaki will become so powerful that Boruto's only real win condition will be the Jougan. But here's where things get tricky. Will Boruto kill Kawaki in the end, just like Horus defeated Seth? Or will Kawaki ultimately realize his mistakes and submit to his wrongdoings, much like Sasuke did at the end of Naruto Shippuden? Boruto might even gain the ability to undo omnipotence by the end of the series. But even if he does, I highly doubt he'll actually use it. Why? Because Boruto understands Kawaki's pain and loneliness better than anyone else. He doesn't want revenge, he just wants to make peace with him and restore the Uzumaki household. That's his ultimate goal right now. And that's a wrap. We've broken down the deep connections between Boruto and Egyptian mythology. And if this theory holds true, the Jougan is going to be the key to everything. Boruto's final battle, freeing Naruto, and maybe even reversing omnipotence. But will Boruto actually defeat Kawaki like Horus did to Seth, or will he choose a different path? I'd love to hear what you think. Will Boruto end up killing Kawaki, or will he find a way to make peace? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get the discussion going. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.